understanding love languages, assessing the compatibility, and navigating long-distance dynamics can strengthen or strain our romantic relationships and partnerships for that matter. Who are the people who are going to do justice to the topic for today? We've got wonderful guests, one person in the studio and the other will be online. We will have Dr. Isaac Newman Arthur, who is the medical director at UPSA, who is also a clinical psychologist, talking to us on phone. But right directly opposite and in front of me, I've got our ever gorgeous Reverend Margaret Akosia Ahoshi, who's a counselor with me in the studio. She will be providing the basis for the discussions for today. And you want to join us? If you want to, you can reach us on WhatsApp. It's 0544 321 019. You can also call us on 030-395-6641. We're streaming live. Yes, we are streaming live. It's on Facebook and it's on YouTube. On Facebook is ZFMGH. On YouTube is Z Multimedia. On the other social platforms, on Instagram and X, you can reach us at ZFMGH. And on TikTok, you can also reach us at Z Multimedia. Now, time to get into the discussions without any further awaiting. We go straight to Reverend Margaret Akosia Ahoshi. Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm blessed. Yourself?
What are you? I am good. I am very good. What are you looking forward to tomorrow? Tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow is Saturday, I should say. Today is Friday. And tomorrow is 14th February. The world over. I remember, I'm just reminiscing what I used to do when I was in secondary school. I don't want to ask you about that, but let's look at tomorrow. You know, what is it that you're looking forward to?
Okay, so first and foremost, I want to say good morning to your viewers and listeners. Tomorrow is going to be amazing because it will be another blessed day that the Lord has made. And then tomorrow happened to be my friend's birthday, and then she's also getting married tomorrow, so it's going to be a lot of celebrations. I'll be happy because she's been through a lot. She lost the husband 2 years ago by the grace of God. Another amazing gentleman, a long distance relationship that we are about to discuss is working tomorrow, so I'm just happy and I want to see that day come to pass.
So tomorrow you'll be celebrating your friend's marriage ceremony.
And her birthday
as well.
Yes.
So when you finish with that, what will you be doing with your own self?
I just want to spend time with my family. I'm a private person because of what I do, so I have a private life. So I just want to stay at home with my family and then having some special moments together.
Okay. What are these special moments that you'll be spending together with your family?
Oh, nothing much.
Nothing much?
We're going to just normal play, maybe cook, eat, you're going to cook tomorrow?
Yeah. Where do you say you live again? So
North Condition around Bubuashi.
Uber comes there.
Yes.
You will expect me tomorrow.
No problem.
After the wedding.
You can trust me for some fufu and abenkwan.
That's wonderful. Good people out there. You could not have been any luckier. It's 19 minutes gone past the hour of 9 o'clock. And in studio, we've got Reverend Margaret Akosia Ahoshi, who is a counselor. She is pretty private. Pretty private. And so tomorrow, after celebrating the friend's birthday and marriage ceremony, she'll be home and doing something real private. I have the singular honor, and this is singular. You're not going to join me. It will be Nana Safo Kantanka alone on that, tour. But Rev, let's come back to the discussions for the. I mean, love goes beyond just a day. A day like 14 February. We know we'll be celebrating love, the whole world. But today we want to look at what love actually is. what the fundamental dynamics of relationships are. Let us see what are the ingredients in there. Communications. You just talked about your friend being blessed with a long distance marriage. We would want to speak to this as well. But to kick off, let us understand what love languages are.
Okay, so I would say love languages. We have 5 of them. There are people who want to be touched. That's a physical touch. There are people who want the art of service, who want, when you do something for them, for instance, my gas is finished and you offer to go fill it for me. It's an art of service. There are people who want gifts. They want you to buy them gifts. When you gift them, it means that you love them. There are people who want to quality time. They always want you around, even if not around, because of the long distance. They want you to always be in constant communication with them. So that is also love. So we have love languages, but it depends on the individual, what they want, and then you are able to express or show your love the way they want. So I always say that love is sacrifice. Love is really sacrifice. Love is compromising on the things that you ordinarily will not do on a normal day. Love is trust. Love is hard work. Love is effort and energy putting together into someone. So love is a lot of things. It's not just the 4-letter word that we see it to be. It's in my own word, I would say love is a very difficult work. It's more than even the normal professional jobs that we handle, because it has its ups and downs. But if you're able to maneuver your way around it, you become successful. So love, as we see it, and people think that it just have to be on 14 February. I don't believe in 14 February just to expressing your love. I believe that every day we need to show love, and we need to be kind. Acts of kindness. We need to be kind to each other every day. So we don't need to wait for 14 February to show our love. Every day we have to love each other and be kind to each other.
Mrs. Nana Safo-Kantanka, you heard that. Love is not just about 14th February. It's every day. So tomorrow, you would watch what you ask of me. Well, we have Reverend Margaret Akosua Ahoshi, who's a counselor in the studio. She's talked about love. She says it's all about sacrifice. It is trust. It is hard work. There's energy in love. But, Mama, before you went into all that, you talked about the love languages. Touching, servicing, gifts, spending quality time and all that. How do partners identify these love languages?
Well, I believe it's through communication, because without communication, no one can understand what you want. So I always tell couples to be expressive about what they want. So you need to tell your partner to know that this is what works for you. So you can't just sit down and assume that Margaret will know that gift is what works for me. So that is why we always encourage partners to do more conversation. The communication should be constant, and it should be clear, devoid of vague conversation. So you have to be clear, and then let your partner know what you want. Because tomorrow, trust me, a lot of troubles will be amidst the vows day, because some couples or partners are expecting that they'll be getting what they want, their love language. But probably they might not have communicated it, and then the other party will get it wrong. Maybe I want a car, and the person will go and buy me flowers, and then, you know, they'll be conflict and that kind of thing.
You are a prophetess too, but I thought you were only a reverend. I have been expecting a car, and I say amen to that.
Okay.
And Adwa, maybe it will be oh, that's it, my Reverend Hurricane in Mamriachia. And then I hover. Rev, do you mind if I call you Koswa?
Akosia, yeah, I'll be
Akosia.
fine. Akosia is fine.
Excellent. So that as for Reverend is a title that we will not leave it anywhere at all, but I want to come back home as we talk about, love today. So Akosia, let me ask you this one. Can relationships thrive if the partners have different love languages? Because earlier you talked about some, loving touch. Others, it's about service. Others will thrive on gifts, spending quality time. If I love to spend quality time and you love service, will the relationship thrive?
Yes, it can thrive if there's communication, proper communication. So as I said, communication is key. And then, sometimes we communicate without the other person understanding what we are saying. So in as much as we communicate, you have to make it clear. So yes, you want act of service, I want physical touch. So there should be a communication. So it's not going to happen at the same time. Maybe today you attend to my needs and tomorrow I attend to yours. Or we can balance it, because I know that you want gifts. So when I step out, maybe a chocolate on my way home is fine for you. Something. When we talk about act of service or maybe a gift, we are not saying go and buy expensive gifts. That's not what we are talking about. The little things is what works for other people. So we can manage it, provided we communicate it. But if it is not communicated, then there will be conflict and it might not work. Especially in this generation, Gen Z generation, where they want money over everything, and you should be doing money gifts.
If you want money, when you are coming in from day one, you must tell me, so I go and look for money. If I can't find money, then I don't come back, so that there's no wahala tomorrow. Well, that is what Reverend Ahosi says today on the discussions on Roundtable, and it's 27 minutes gone past the hour of 9 o'clock. We've got Dr. Isaac Newman Arthur on the line. He is medical director at UPSA and, of course, a clinical psychologist. Doc, good morning and welcome to Z 101.9 FM. Hello, Doc. Hello, Doc. Well, I want to believe that we're having a bit of a technical hitch there. We'll be getting Dr. Isaac Newman Arthur on the line pretty shortly, and he will make his contribution on the discussions on the table. So, Rev, let's come back to you again in the studio. Akosia Ahosi. Akosia Ahosi. Akosia Ahosi. You must communicate and communicate very clearly. What are some of the common misconceptions about love and language?
So the common misconception about love and language is that many people take infatuations or some emotional feelings to mean that they are communicating, whereby they are actually being just sensitive. So that is why I spoke about the communication aspect. So in as much as you communicate, it has to be devoid of emotions so that it can be clear and precise, so that the other party will understand. So the fact that I'm having a conversation with you doesn't mean that you automatically knows what I want. I have to tell you what I want. So if I tell you what I want and you are not doing it, then we can say that you are trying to take advantage of the love. So it's not just love, it comes with actions, as I said. So I even forgot one, that is the words of affirmation. There are people that want you to tell them every day, I love you, you are beautiful, you are handsome, you are good, you are that. They want that, or they want you to every day remind them or tell them that you still care about them. So if a day goes by, a week goes by, and then you are not saying it, it means that you are not loving them. So we need to know the languages and apply them. So when you apply them, then the love becomes grounded.
You want to make sure that you go to school. You go to school not to go and learn chemistry, even though we'll be talking about chemistry and compatibility, but you need to go learn what the love language is. Dr. Isaac Newman Arthur is on the line. Doc, good morning and welcome to Z101.9 FM.
Good morning. Good to be with you.
Thank you very much. I was just wondering what Doc was preparing for his Valentine tomorrow, and I just wanted him to tell me alone as a secret. Nobody hears this. And Doc, I promise you I won't tell anybody, but just share it with me.
Unfortunately, there's nothing, so don't worry.
Doc, you mean there is nothing?
Oh, there's nothing, don't worry.
Okay. Well, we'll look at the details later, and we'll come set the cameras and everything all around the place, and we will be monitoring how nothing will translate into everything tomorrow. But until we get there, we've been looking at some of the fundamentals of love. The love language, we think, is pretty critical, and Reverend Margaret Akusua Ahosi has done very, very good justice to that. Doc, let me find out from you, how does compatibility and chemistry impact love?
I think that there are two things that helps with any relationship to grow well. One of them is harmony, and the next one is satisfaction. Right? Harmony is where we get the term compatibility from. Harmony means that everything gels well, everything fits well, everything is fitting so well that there's no disarray, there's no disorganization, there's no conflict. Harmony. Right? And for two people to be able to live together, to be able to express themselves the way they should, first of all, they should have the potential to do that. If you put two people in an environment where they are not compatible, they will not be able to work well together. So you may love someone, but you may not be able to relate with the person. And I think that is where the problem is. Usually the problem is not on the level of love. The problem is on the level of whether you can live with the person or not. And that is where things like agreeability and also compatibility comes up. So if there are two people, they love each other, but they are not compatible, then the conflict escalates. You know, the ability to reason out on a daily basis, ability to meet the person's needs, ability to be in the company of the person without conflict actually goes down. And I think it's the craft of any, right? So, for example, you may marry a good person, but you may not be able to relate with that person. A lot of the divorces is not between two bad people, it's between two good people who for some reason cannot live together because they are not compatible, right? And for example, if you even read scripture, right, the big summary, Genesis chapter 2, verse 18, it says, it's not good for a man to be alone. I will make for him a helper, into brackets, one who balances him, a counterpart who is suitable and complementary for him. I think that is where all the problems come in. So you may love someone, you may be excited about the person, but you struggle to live with the person because you are not compatible. And when that happens, conflict go up. And the moment conflict go up, then all other problems will not solve. Right? Then I talk about satisfaction in terms of satisfaction of each other's needs. Right? And most of the things people talk about as love language, it's also 10 core needs. Right, the things that make people happy, you know, what makes them meet the expectation, and what makes life worth living for them, you know. And when they satisfy, then people go into love languages and stuff like that. But all the love languages you can talk about, they are a symptom of their core needs. It's a symptom, right? So For example, someone wants a car, they want words of affirmation, they want respect. All these things are a product of core needs. And core needs are developed from childhood. You know, the things that we've been exposed to from childhood, or the things that we have not been exposed to from childhood, that they learn from. Those are core needs. And core needs manifest in many, many forms, right? And there are core needs of women and there are core needs of men. And I'm sure probably we'll talk about it.
It will definitely come up. But, Doc, before you proceed, something fundamental here. I mean, one would have thought that the emotional chemistry, which is the fundamental ingredient that will bring the two of us together, should suffice. But now you're talking about the compatibility, which will then underwrite how we will survive in the relationship. And Doc, I'll plead with you if you can get a little closer to your microphone. Just go over briefly for us how the initial or the original emotional chemistry between the two partners who would find themselves in love, how will that have to also submit itself into that compatibility which will take us into the future?
Yes. So the emotions people have can be generated from many, many things, right? So people have feelings for things, and some of the feelings are not enduring. And there are three emotional things people call chemistry. What are three types? We have lust, we have like, and we have love. So whatever feelings you have for someone may be one of these three. Lust focuses on pleasurable things. So let's say you go to a meeting, you meet this girl who looks very, very fine, or this guy who looks very, very nice and stuff. You are looking at a certain quality that evokes a certain pleasure, right? And that can be the chemistry that starts the relationship. And when it's a lustful situation, it is more selfish, it is more self-gratifying, it is more immediate, self-driven kind of pleasure. And when that it doesn't last, it is too temporary, it leaves quickly. So someone may meet you, say, I love you, that, but it lasts, and it will not last, right? The second is like. You know, like is an admirable quality. The things the person can do, the things the person has, the things that is admirable, right? So this guy is a good guy. This girl is resourceful. This girl is this, this girl is that. So that is like. You look at the admirable quality, and based on those qualities, you have a certain chemistry of feelings for that person. Then love. Love has been distorted in many ways, right? People use love as a generic term for a certain positive emotional feelings towards someone. But love goes beyond that. True love looks at both the admirable and unadmirable quality and still makes a decision to stay. So you have this guy who has good sides and has bad sides. Love will look at that, and based on that, they take a decision to stay. Most of the chemistry of feelings around is not love at all. And that is why most of those things are temporary. So you look at this guy has money, can provide the school, makes you feel better and stuff like that. And you have a certain feeling. Those are that is like and not love. Right. But unfortunately, because love has been distorted all over the place, people have certain feelings that they think is love. So one of the tests of love is challenging, is weakness, is time. Right. So if someone says, I've fallen out of love, nobody falls out of love. And someone says there's a thin line between love and hate. There is no thin line between love and hate. If it's love, love endures, love forgives, love conquers all things. I think it's in First Corinthians chapter 13. That is love.
Okay. It is on that score that I just check out, because you seem to have said a lot. You know, the lust, the like, the love, and all that. The propensity for partners to mistake lust and like for love is pretty high, and that has the potential of ending up into some kind of dangerous situation. Doc, how much compromise should a healthy relationship have?
I think that compromise is more of a negative word in a way. Not negative, but it tends to go towards negative things. But adjustment is a better word.
Adjustment.
Adjusting. Right? You are adjusting to be able to accommodate the person, regardless of who they are. But that adjustment should bring growth. I'm not adjusting to your weakness. I'm adjusting to your difference so that you can work on your weaknesses, not give excuses for your weaknesses, right? And if couples were listening to each other and were taking feedback in a positive way, regardless of how it is complicated, I think a lot of relationships will be saved, right? And so it's not only, yeah, you met me this way, you don't like me, go away. No. How you are is creating problems. Can you decide to adjust? Can you decide to improve so that you can become a better person? And being a better person for yourself, it translates into a certain positive relationship with the other person. And I think that is what the discussion should be. Because regardless, you meet someone, even their strength can serve as a source of conflict. Because your strength and my strength may be different. But when the two of them live together, then they have to adjust. For example, some people like cooking every day, other people like cooking on the weekend. Right? Both of them are good, but one would make things a bit more stressful than the other. So whilst we are married, can't we adjust to do things in a way that eases some burden on each other? That is how things go. Right? Whilst we work on our weaknesses so that the conflict will not escalate. And sometimes people fight over the good things, not even the bad things, because of the differences that we see amongst people.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Isaac Newman Arthur, who is the medical director at the UPSA clinic, and he's also a clinical psychologist. We'll come briefly to the studio and probably revert to you, Doc, later. And I am talking about Reverend Kosia Ahoshi. Rev, I mean, you see that Doc seems to have said a lot to support the kind of things that you talked about, but just chipped in the issue about adjustment, which I called compromise. And I think I do agree with Doc that we should rather be talking about adjustments rather than compromising, which he believes is has a negative kind of connotation. Let me ask, in this topic of compatibility and chemistry and all that, what are some of the red flags that couples would normally ignore in the very early stages of their relationship?
Okay, so before I answer that, I just want to acknowledge my lecturer. There's no way the student will be better, will be more than the lecturer. So, okay. I mean, if my lecturer, Dr. Atta, says we should use adjustments instead of compromise, I mean, that is fine. I mean, we can always, I think that adjustments makes it more better. So you know that you are not actually giving up something that you want for someone. You're just making few changes just to make the situation better.
Exactly. When you're giving up, it looks as if, you know, it is the other person is now going to benefit or is winning and you are losing.
Yeah, exactly.
But rather, if we are in a situation of adjustments,
it makes it like we are balancing each other's situation. So,
Dr. Lecturer Isaac Newman Arthur, we salute you for bringing all those wonderful insights into the conversation. Now let's look at let's look at the issue of the red flags.
Okay, so when we talk about red flags, I always say that everyone and what they can term red flags. So what I would say is a red flag for me is different from what might be for another person. There are people, for instance, myself, I don't like people who smoke or taking excessive alcohol. If once in a while you go for some red wine, occasionally it's fine. But to go and drink and then you come home and you can't even walk properly and all of that, and you smoke and your whole attire is smelling of smoke and all of those things, it doesn't work for me. And then I also talk about people, men, who are loud. Like they talk on the top of their voices, and men who make promises, who talk plenty, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do that. As I said, I'm a private person. I believe in action than words. So if there's something that you want to do, let me see you do it than just saying things, because I've seen a lot of those people in my walk of life, because I handle an NGO where I'm the director. So we've done so many youth leadership, and we see that a lot of people that talk plenty, they end up doing little. But those who don't talk much, they give much, they do more. So those are some of the red flags for me. There are some women, I'll talk about the Gen Z generation, because that is the era we are in. I'm a millennial, so I mean our time is past. The Gen Zs will say that I want someone, or kakra, sika kakra, so they want someone who can actually take care of them, because they want to buy some hair, they want to buy some modern outfits, some brand, no well-known brands and that thing. So if you don't have the money to do that, it's a absolute red flag for them.
But Rev, I mean, there's competition.
No,
here am I.
That's why I'm saying that everybody and what they want.
Lady, and I see some gentlemen talking to her all the time. If I don't come and tell you that my father owns the seashore in Accra, I probably will be losing you. So I need to impress you. What do you think?
No, so that's what I'm saying, that it depends on the individual. You can't impress me. I know that my lecturer, Dr. Isaac, knows that. You can't impress me.
If I gave you the whole shore, the beach,
because that's what I'm saying.
You don't like it.
I don't like it because.
But I have it. I thought I could. I could.
No, I'm not in for that, because I believe that we should look beyond what we gain or get in relationship. Just like Doug was saying, there are people who, because of love, they think that you love the person, and they see the person, maybe he drove some car. You don't even know whether the car belongs to him or her, and then you are falling for it. It's just because of what the person has, no real thing that they are feeling for the person. So everyone and what they want as red flag. So red flag is what you want, what I want, what I don't like. Everybody is different.
There are many, and they are varied.
Because I was listening to a program 3 days ago, and there was a lady that was dating this gentleman over 5 years, and then because of I don't want to mention the brand, an iPhone. So I've mentioned the brand 17, because a guy cannot afford it. Yeah. She doesn't want to continue the relationship.
But I have one in my office.
Okay.
So if you can point me to this woman, I can go and say good morning to her.
Okay, so I will do that.
Please
so
do.
You see, and there are people too who they will say, I don't like someone who is too quiet. Somebody's red flag to you, somebody who is too reserved. They don't like it. Someone who cannot communicate. There are people, if the person cannot express themselves, if not been to school, let's say I have my master's and then you've not been to school, it's a red flag. So everyone and what they want. And there are partners that live together. Somebody doesn't want you to put dress in the sofa, another person will put it there. One partner doesn't want you to leave your shoe there, somebody leaves it there. So everybody and what they see as
we
red
need
flag.
to look out very critically for these.
Yes.
And like Doc said, if we would have to adjust, then we can do that pretty much early in the relationship before it creates problems for us at the end of the day.
No, but you see, that is where the problem lies.
Okay.
Because usually in relationship, you don't get to see some of these things.
All right.
People can pretend. Let's say, for instance, you've communicated. I've made you know that I don't like smoking, or I don't like that.
Yeah.
So, because for me, before we can even do relationship, we have to start off as friends.
Okay.
So maybe in the friendship zone, we discuss a lot of things, and you realize this is what I don't like. So you pretend, and then I think that, it's what I want. Then you marry. It's a different ballgame when there's marriage. Relationship and marriage is not the same.
Okay.
That is why we are seeing a lot of divorces in our era. Yesterday I was reading some blog, and I think 124,000 plus people have divorced in a certain region in Ghana. It's 21.7%. And you ask yourself, what is happening? So these things really, If only we can be honest during the talking stage, it will work. But people are not honest enough in the talking stage. And so they pretend because they want to settle down, they get into marriage in a different thing. And when you are married and the man say, I don't like light, the woman will say, I like light, especially the women. Because they realize that, oh, I've done the I do, I have the certificate, so they now can do anything, forgetting that the marriage, there's a caveat, which is the divorce. Because any ordinance, if you know that there is divorce, it means that it's attached to the married. The white man or whoever brought that wedding thing knows that there will come a time that people will walk out. So it's part of it. So I think that we have to be honest with each other from the onset. So that if the person likes it, they likes it. If I don't like smoking and you tell me I smoke, I back off.
Back off if you don't like it when I tell you. But honesty is pretty much critical here. Time is actually running against us, and so we'll probably have to see how we can fast track the conversation. Well, Rev, let me just stay with you for just one more second and look at the issue of long distance relationship. Some succeed, others do not.
Exactly.
What are the factors?
So the factors really depends on, so if it will succeed, then there has to be still constant communication, because you are not seeing the person. The only way you can have emotional bond is when you communicate regularly. You have to build strong trust. You have to be clear about the future. So it shouldn't be vague. That people can talk for so many years, one country, another country, and it's not clear cut. So at the end of the day, people get hurt. But if there is clear cut, there's clear future plans, vision, and the communication is constant. You have schedules, because you know we have time zones. For instance, if it's not Ghana, different time zones. So you have to get schedules and then do more virtual dating, do things together, let your partner believe in you. But if you are not open enough, then it is not going to work.
Be open so that it can work, says Reverend Margaret Akosia Ahoshi. Doc, let me come back to you on this matter of long distance relationship. Let's see the role of psychology in here. You know, we are geographically apart from each other, and yet we are emotionally attached. What is the psychology that drives such relationship? What is it that works and what does not work?
Before I do that, let me say just one thing about the red flags. I think I'll just add to whatever she said. Is that usually you see the red flags should have been things that are enduring traits or situations that borders on right and wrong, standards, character flaws, and things that are very, very critical. But unfortunately, the red flags we have nowadays are based on trivial things. He's tall, she's short, she's fair, she's that, he doesn't have money now. You know, there are many, many things that changes with time. It will change with time, right? If for me, my wife had decided on me about a year, about 5, 6, 7 years ago, I wouldn't have been married by now, right? And so most of the red flags now is based on people's expectations and the mindset they have about who a partner must look like, based on whatever is in book now and narratives in society and things put here on podcasts and stuff like that. So you may find a lot more people trapped in singleness, and they may never marry because what they are looking out for is not what they should look out for. And so that creates a lot of problems for people in finding a spouse. So you may find a lady who will be proposed to about from 10 or 20 different guys in a year, and none of them was good enough for her. And this lady will still go to church and pray for a partner. And sometimes God is really wondering what you are even looking for in this world. Right? So most of the red flags, and I think that people should be very, very careful about what they say is red flag or what is not red flag.
And I
And
think that's a
again,
very good call, Doc. Let me just push this. It looks like time is very much against us. You know, the kind of relationship we have today, involves mostly career, workers. Previously, our forebears, you had probably the man working and the woman at home and all that. Today, it's not the case. And that also seems to be creating a bit of a problem. Managing time between work demands and emotional availability. What's your last comment on that?
okay. So I would say that outside with the long distance, I think that people should be able to be intentional about what they want and what they don't, right? And again, be intentional about making time for your spouse, even if you are working. Be intentional and prioritize relationships that are important to you. I think that is how to fix them. And again, long distance relationships, as much as possible, if it can be avoided, it should be avoided because the issues around it is just unnecessary, right? It means that if someone is in a long distance, as soon as possible, they should actually be able to arrange so that they can move in together. But I think regardless of what it is, people have to be intentional about their religion and prioritize these things above some other things. I think that helps.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Isaac Newman Arthur, for joining us on this very special conversation. I want to believe that we will be getting back to you in the very, 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 very near future to look at how we can conclude this conversation. But in studio, Rev, we would have to be wrapping up with you. This matter of managing the career ambitions, especially for the young people. You just alluded to the percentage of divorce rates in a particular region in Ghana and all that. This is no secret today. How can we manage, the relationship situation today between and amongst young couple who are all career oriented?
I think first of all, they should be clear about what they want, and people should do more talking. They should have an agreement from the word go, because most people don't come clear, as I said. And so when you get married, it becomes a lot of things. You should know what I do. I should understand what you do. How are we going to manage it when we get together? So when there are those conversations, you make sure you build on it. Don't just leave it. Every now and then, I think couples should be having conversation, even if they can set aside a week, one day out of a week, to reflect and check, do checks and balances, what is happening, what is not going well, so that they can manage the home. It's not easy. I'm a career woman as well. I go to school, I have children, 3 of them, and yet I'm able to manage everything that I have to do. So if you put your mind and your heart to it, you'll be able to make it, just like Doc said. So it's about being intentional, making effort, and finding time for each other to keep discussing things that you have talked about many years, so that the relationship can grow.
Your very last word for this morning.
Okay, so what I want to say is that tomorrow is vow day. A lot of people are going to go out there, especially the young ones. I just want to ask them to take good care of themselves. Vows day doesn't mean you should go do things that are ungodly.
May the Lord be with you all. Be good. Take good care of yourself. Be very careful about what you do out there tomorrow. Doc, we are ending with you. Your very last word for the morning. Hello, Doc.
Yes. So, yes, please can you hear me?
Yes, please
Yes,
go
can you hear
ahead.
me?
Yes, I can hear you. Please
Yes.
go ahead.
I would say that I think that relationships and marriage is an amazing thing, and people shouldn't cancel it out of their plans. Unfortunately, there's a lot of younger people who do those things. Marriage is not even the best. You will need it, and if you waste your youthful years, one day you look back and wish you had actually taken a certain decision, right? So I think that all the conversations and toxic things running around and all the negative things around it, people should be careful what they listen to on podcasts and those some media platforms, and they should actually take decisions that they will not regret later on. Thank you.
And thank you very much, Dr. Newman Arthur, who is also called Isaac. He's medical director at UPSC and clinical psychologist. And we also had Reverend Margaret Akusia Ahoshi, who is a counselor in studio. Well, a comment from Jessica. He says that, well, my takeaway is that let's try and build system. This is very, very educative. Well, time is your greatest asset. I have learned a lot this morning. Thank you very much, Jessica, for sharing your conversation with us. It's exactly 1 more minute to the top of the hour, and this is how we bring the curtains down on this Friday, the very special edition on Z101.9 FM. It is your lifestyle, leisure, and business platform. Today is 13. Tomorrow is 14. It's Val's Day. Please go out there, love, but be very, very careful. Don't overdo things. God willing, Monday we'll be back on your platform with powerful information, education, and entertainment. Until we go away, we say thanks and kudos to the technical team as well as the production team. Don't go away, because coming up on your dial of preference is The Brighter Side with Jeremy Okorie Amwakon.